Welcome to my B&B Today's Show channel. I hope today fantastic for everyone. Please hit the subscribes button and give this video thumbs up. Luna ambushes Finn, Steffy and Hope hug, Liam counseled. The Bold and the Beautiful is finally here. In today's episode, Luna Nozawa ambushes John Finnegan. Hope Logan and Steffy Forrester Finnegan exchange hugs regarding Liam Spencer's diagnosis. Hope Logan's discovery. Hope seems to be in denial at Brooke Logan's house. Steffy says that Liam is dying once more. This is devastating because they both have children with him. Hope begins to weep, but she denies that it is true. Hope tries to call Liam but Steffy stops her. Hope doesn't even know what questions to ask. Steffy encourages her that they face this together. Steffy explains that she found out when Liam did. It was random as she just found Liam unconscious and called 911. Read more. Find out what happened on the last episode of B&B. The doctors thought it was a brain injury, and Liam insisted they keep it to themselves. Steffy adds that when the neurologist discovered the mass, they thought Liam was getting better. Hope wants to know about treatments. Steffy says the tumor is inoperable. Hope can't believe this has been happening for weeks and no one said a word to her. Steffy tells her that Liam doesn't want anyone to know. He doesn't want to break Kelly Spencer and Beth Spencer's hearts. Steffy brings up that Liam made her promise not to tell Hope, but she deserved to know. Both women talk about Liam and everything that makes him special. Hope thanks Steffy for telling her the truth. Hope suddenly realizes that Liam was trying to say goodbye to her. How are they going to tell the girls? Hope cries and Steffy reaches out to hug her. Liam Spencer counseled. At the Cliff House, Finn and Liam discuss the tumor. Liam feels fine most of the time and there is a lot he still wants to do. Finn tells him not to overdo it. Liam stands up but nearly falls over. Liam confesses he's been having dizzy spells. Liam just hopes he can have more time with his kids. Finn promises they are doing what they can to give him more time. However, people need time to prepare and say goodbye. Has he thought about telling Hope Wyatt Spencer or what about Bill Spencer? Liam says he needs more time with his children. Finn says the girls won't be okay if they are blindsided by their dad's death. Liam is angry that he has no control over this. He continues to desire anonymity. Later, Liam texts his father. Read this, The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers. Hope insists on marrying Liam. Carter can wait. Luna Nozawa's ambush. Over at Il Giardino, Luna sneaks in to see her grandmother. Luna wants nothing more than to have a relationship with Finn. She requires a place in the life of her father. Luna and Sheila bond over how similar they are. Sheila thinks Luna is growing up. Luna is upset that nobody will give her the time of day. Steffy still views her as a monster. Sheila tells her that Finn will always side with Steffy. Always. Luna decides to do something about it. Later, Luna strolls into the Cliff House, catching Finn by surprise. Luna is aware that Steffy is not present. Finn says he's busy, but Luna reminds him of their genetic connection. Luna misses and loves her father. Luna asks him not to turn his back on his little girl. Bill's face-off, emotional reckoning changes everything. The Bold and the Beautiful are here. In tomorrow's episode, fans can expect Bill Spencer to meet with Liam Spencer. However, it is teased that there will be an emotional reckoning that could change everything. Continue reading, and let's talk about what will happen in the upcoming CBS soap opera episode. Confessions of Liam Spencer in tomorrow's episode. Fans can expect Liam to wait for Bill. Liam sent his father a text message. The two need to talk, especially after that explosive fight right before Liam's seizure. Bill doesn't even know anything happened and certainly has no clue that Liam is on borrowed time. Chances are that Bill will assume Liam is there to grovel and beg for his job back. Bill will have another thing coming though. Bill Spencer's emotional reckoning. Once Bill settles down and listens to what Liam has to say, there will be an emotional reckoning that could change everything. Even Bill might be aware that he might be to blame. Read more. Find out what happened on the last episode of B&B. Maybe not for the tumor, but for the collapse that led to emergency brain surgery. Bill will also feel tremendous guilt and might need to think about his recent decisions. Of course, Liam is all about forgiveness right now. Since the diagnosis, Bill hasn't really opened up about the fight with Bill. So maybe the father and son will have a heartwarming reconciliation, although it will be a sad one. Check out these spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Hope wants to marry Liam. but Carter can wait. John Finnegan's tough spot. The bold and the beautiful spoilers for the next episode reveal that fans might also see what happens after Luna ambushed Finn. Luna begged her father not to turn his back on her. However, Finn is also going through a lot right now. Luna has no idea about Liam's brain tumor. I wonder if Luna will somehow save Liam, perhaps through a life-saving procedure like the one that Katie Logan received from Florence Flo Logan. Back to Finn and Luna, will the doctor give his daughter a chance? Or will Luna be rejected and sent away? Hope Logan processes. Meanwhile, expect Hope Logan to continue processing Liam's impending death. While Hope has Steffy Forrester Finnegan's support, will Liam's death sentence change their dynamic forever? Could this be the silver lining in the diagnosis? Liam is determined to create peace between Hope and Steffy before his death. So let's see what happens. Carter is lacking chemistry with this person. The bold and the beautiful say that Carter might be one of the most handsome and charismatic men in this fictional town of Los Angeles, but for some reason or another he just lacks chemistry with this leading woman. The bold and the beautiful Carter is lacking chemistry with this person. Of course, we are talking about Hope Logan. A lot of fans have noticed that when Carter and Hope share scenes together, it seems like something is always off. That, or Carter is just not into Hope as much as the writers would want them to be according to the latest storylines. As our loyal readers can imagine, the internet had a lot to say about the matter on social media. Even as a response, some have stated, "I agree that it is difficult to watch, but you know who I think did have chemistry was Hope and Finn, and I'm sorry. I'm a little bit bitter towards Stephanie, so yes, I think this would be great. Carter, please go back to just being eye candy for the show." A B&B fan wrote, "You can't act and be. You have zero chemistry with Hope. I wish they bring back Wyatt for Liam's funeral, and after supporting each other through Liam's death, they fall in love. Again." And then there was this comment as well. I mean, this in general is a thing, you don't want a side character to outact your lead. I just think Annika can't act really around Carter, not that she a bad actress. You have the all-female episode as proof. It's just so rare for her to bring it all out now. The bold and the beautiful spoilers. Carter and Hope are just not working as a couple. Clearly, fans have spoken and they think it's time for the writers to stop forcing Carter and Hope together. Simply put, it's not working. Of course, the bold and the beautiful fans will have to tune in each and every day to find out what will happen next. Watch this space for more. What will Hope think of Steffi's information about Bold and the Beautiful? Hope will learn the news of Steffi's prognosis. Steffy ignored Liam's wishes. She told him that Hope needs to know that he's dying. What might come next? Hope got a surprise at her door. Steffy was there to tell her something important. She warned her that this was bad news. Hope blinked back tears as she learned that Liam was dying. She might find it hard to accept this. According to the spoilers, Steffy will comfort Hope. These two haven't gotten along for a long time. Liam wishes his exes would get along for the sake of their families, including the daughters he shares with them. Will this bring them together or tear them further apart? More, find out what happened today on B&B. Why it might be troublesome. Hope could wonder why she's one of the last to know. She will want to know why she's not a priority in Liam's life like Steffy is. Obviously, Steffy was the first to know about Liam's condition. He had no problem with her knowing what was wrong with him. But Liam didn't want anyone else to know about his condition. His argument is that he doesn't want to look like the picture of death. He wants everyone to see him as the picture of health and hope. Liam also didn't want to put this burden on his family. He was more concerned about everything else than himself. More, find out what happens next on B&B. Something tells us that Hope's wheels will be spinning after she learns about Liam's condition. She'll be left wondering why he's been keeping this secret from her. But Steffy was the one who found Liam unconscious and brought him to the hospital, which is why he's been sleeping at the Cliff House. Hopefully, this news won't cause Hope to spiral any further than she already has. She's already had it out for the Forresters lately. The sun hung low over Los Angeles, casting a golden haze across the city, but within the opulent walls of Forrester Creations and the intimate spaces of Brooke Logan's home, shadows of turmoil and heartache reigned. The day's events unfolded like a symphony of raw emotion, weaving together desperation, denial, and fragile alliances as the lives of the show's beloved characters collided in a crescendo of drama. Luna's ambush. A storm brewing. The episode began with the crackle of tension rather than the soft hum of reconciliation. Luna Nozawa, her usually composed demeanor fractured by a tempest of unresolved anger, cornered John Finnegan in the dimly lit hallway outside Steffy's office at Forrester Creations. Her eyes, sharp as daggers, bore into him, her voice trembling with a mix of fury and betrayal. "Do you think you can just act like everything is okay?" she hissed, stepping closer, her fists clenched at her sides. Finn, ever the calm mediator, raised his hands in a placating gesture, but Luna cut him off before he could speak. "You don't get to play the hero here. Not after what you've done." Though the recap provided scant details, the subtext screamed of buried secrets. Luna's accusations hinted at a deeper conflict, perhaps Finn's recent prioritization of Steffy and Liam's crisis over another pressing matter? Or had she uncovered a truth about his handling of Liam's medical condition? Her words were full of implication of carelessness. "You're supposed to save lives, not hide the ones that are falling apart." She spat, her voice echoing off the marble floors. Luna pressed on, inquiring about Finn's moral duty, and Finn's professional composure began to deteriorate. The confrontation ended with Luna storming off, leaving Finn staring after her, guilt and frustration etched into his features. The scene set the tone for an episode where secrets, once buried, threatened to erupt. Hope and Steffy, an unlikely embrace. Meanwhile, at Brooke Logan's airy sunlit villa, a different kind of storm raged, one of quiet despair. Hope Logan sat perched on the edge of a cream-colored sofa, her hands trembling around a teacup she hadn't sipped from. Across from her, Steffy Forrester Finnegan leaned forward, her usually steely gaze softened by shared grief. The air between them crackled with the weight of decades of rivalry, now muted by a common bond. Liam Spencer, the man they'd both loved, fought over and built families with, was dying. "He's dying, Hope," Steffy repeated, her voice breaking on the word. The diagnosis, a terminal brain tumor, hung between them like a death knell. Hope's denial was visceral. She shook her head, her blonde waves swaying as if to physically reject the truth. "No. There has to be a mistake. He's strong," she insisted, her voice rising in desperation. But Steffy's account was unflinching. Finding Liam collapsed in his apartment, the frantic 911 call, the grim neurology reports. "They thought it was a concussion at first," Steffy explained, her fingers twisting the hem of her jacket. "But then they came across the mass. It's inoperable." The dialogue here was a masterclass in layered history. Hope's tearful accusation, "You knew for weeks and didn't tell me?" was met with Steffy's defensive yet empathetic retort. "He made me promise, Hope. He didn't want the girls to suffer." The reference to Kelly and Beth, Liam's daughters with Steffy and Hope respectively, underscored the cruel twist of fate binding these women. As Hope's tears fell, her mind flashed to recent moments, Liam's uncharacteristic quiet during Beth's recital, his abrupt goodbyes that now felt like farewells. "He was trying to say goodbye," she whispered, her voice crumbling. In a moment ripe with symbolic resonance, Steffy crossed the room and pulled Hope into a tentative hug. The embrace, awkward at first, tightened as sobs shook them both. It was a tableau of shattered rivalries, two mothers united by love for their children, and the man who'd shaped their lives. "We'll face this together," Steffy murmured, a promise as fragile as it was profound. Liam's Cliff House confessional. A man unmoored. The episode's third act shifted to the Cliff House, its panoramic ocean views a stark contrast to the suffocating dread within. As Finn described the harsh reality, Liam Spencer, pale and weak, slumped in an armchair. "The dizzy spells are a sign the tumor's progressing," Finn said gently, his tone balancing empathy with medical candor. Liam's response was a bitter laugh. "Progressing? Funny word for, I'm running out of time." The dialogue here was raw, Liam's anger a shield against helplessness. I need more days with Kelly and Beth. Is that too much to ask?" he rasped, his voice breaking. Finn's advice, "They need to prepare Liam. You can't blindside them," clashed with Liam's fierce protectiveness. "They're kids, Finn. They shouldn't have to prepare for losing their dad." The scene peaked as Liam stood too fast, swaying dangerously. Liam's emotional freefall was mirrored by Finn's physical stumble as he caught him. Liam stared at his phone for a quiet moment afterward, Bill Spencer's contact glaring back at him. The text he sent, "Dad, we need to talk," was seismic shift, hinting at a reckoning with his estranged father. This thread, ripe for future episodes, suggested Liam's journey toward closure, or perhaps a Hail Mary search for alternative treatments through Bill's vast resources. Intersecting threads. The quiet calamity. Throughout the episode, subtle cues wove the threads together. Luna's fury at Finn took on new gravity in light of Liam's decline. Was her anger rooted in a belief that Finn could have intervened sooner? Meanwhile, Hope's tearful resolve, "I need to see him," clashed with Steffy's pragmatic caution, setting up future clashes. The episode's genius lay in its juxtaposition of intimacy and isolation. Liam, physically deteriorating in the Cliff House's solitary grandeur. Hope and Steffy, bound by shared sorrow in Brooke's cozy living room. Luna and Finn, their confrontation a microcosm of the episode's themes of duty and deception. Even the setting's whispered subtext. The Cliff House's precarious perch on the ocean's edge mirrored Liam's tenuous grip on life. Conclusion. The gathering storm. As the episode closed, the characters stood on the brink of irrevocable change. Luna's secret simmered, Steffy and Hope's alliance teetered on a knife's edge, and Liam's text to Bill Spencer promised a tempest on the horizon. The final shot, a close-up of Liam's phone screen, the words "message sent" glowing in the dark, was a haunting punctuation mark. In a deeply emotional and dramatic turning point for the bold and the beautiful, episode delivered a powerful trifecta of heartbreak, confrontation, and unexpected vulnerability as Luna ambushes Finn, Steffy and Hope share a rare moment of unity in the face of tragedy, and Liam wrestles with his mortality in the presence of a compassionate but helpless Finn. At the heart of this episode lies the grim diagnosis that has rocked the foundation of multiple families. Liam Spencer is dying of an inoperable brain tumor. A secret that has been simmering beneath the surface for weeks, threatening to boil over into chaos, heartbreak, and revelations that could irreversibly alter relationships across Los Angeles. As the episode begins, viewers are taken into Brooke Logan's home, where Hope Logan is in a state of denial, processing the bombshell dropped by Steffy Forrester Finnegan. Hope, who is reeling with confusion and grief, refuses to accept that the father of her child is dying. Her reaction is not only of sorrow but of betrayal, as she grapples with the knowledge that Liam and everyone else kept her in the dark about something so devastating. Steffy stands firm, emotional yet composed, walking the delicate line between respecting Liam's wishes and acknowledging Hope's right to know the truth. The conversation is laden with emotion as Steffy recounts the horrifying moment she found Liam unconscious, triggering a medical crisis that led to the shocking diagnosis. The doctors initially suspected a trauma-related brain injury, but as the tests progressed, a darker reality emerged. A tumor, deeply lodged, deemed inoperable. Steffy explains that while Liam asked for secrecy to protect their daughters, Kelly and Beth, the weight of this secret became too much to bear. For the first time in a long while, the two women lower their defenses, bonding over shared pain and love for a man who connected their lives in ways neither wanted but both ultimately embraced. Hope's gratitude is heartfelt, but her realization is even more painful. Liam had already begun saying goodbye, subtly distancing himself without uttering the final words. The moment crescendos with a heartfelt hug between Hope and Steffy, an emotional breakthrough decades in the making, signaling the fragile possibility of peace forged in the fire of loss. While the women grapple with the emotional fallout, Liam himself is at the Cliff House with Finn, seeking solace and clarity. Despite his outward calm, Liam is plagued by the knowledge that his time is slipping away. He confides in Finn about the dizziness, the instability, and the helplessness of his condition, desperately wanting to stretch his remaining days as far as they can go. Finn, ever the devoted doctor and friend, offers not just medical insight but emotional guidance. He gently encourages Liam to open up to his loved ones, and to stop shielding them under the guise of protection, and instead allow them to prepare for the unavoidable indignity. The tension mounts as Liam resists, insisting he needs more time with his girls before making anything public. He doesn't want to be remembered as sick, doesn't want to become a symbol of tragedy in their lives. Yet even as he speaks these words, his body betrays him. He nearly falls, caught in a dizzy spell that forces both men to confront the ticking clock of Liam's condition. Finn's advice is clear but compassionate. People deserve the chance to say goodbye, to find closure, to process grief before it becomes trauma. With reluctant resolve, Liam sends a text to his father, Bill Spencer, foreshadowing a long-awaited conversation that will stir past wounds and challenge long-standing pride. At Il Giardino, however, Luna Nozawa, desperate and becoming increasingly bold, makes a move that could start a new firestorm as one emotional thread begins to unravel. Her ambush of Finn is not violent, but emotionally charged and layered with unspoken pain. She wants to belong to matter in the life of the man she now knows is her biological father. Luna's feelings of alienation have only gotten worse since he made friends with Sheila Carter. Luna's insecurities are stoked by Sheila, always the manipulator, who portrays Steffy as an immovable barrier between her and Finn. Luna's desire to learn more about her father has evolved into a struggle to survive in a world that seems intent on erasing her from Finn's life. Luna's entrance at the Cliff House is calculated. She knows Steffy isn't home. She knows Finn will be caught off guard. And she uses their genetic link as both shield and sword. Her plea is heartfelt but tinged with bitterness. Don't turn your back on your little girl. Finn is visibly shaken. He is attempting to keep everything together for Liam, Steffy, and his family, but Luna's emotional ambush sends him into a tailspin. Unbeknownst to her, he's already drowning in the weight of Liam's prognosis, and now this sudden demand for paternal presence adds yet another layer to his crisis. What Luna doesn't realize is that this ambush could backfire or, in a twist of fate, it might give her the chance to redeem herself in ways even Sheila couldn't predict. There's a hint that Luna might become a key to something bigger, perhaps even a life-saving solution, much like how Flo Logan saved Katie years ago with a kidney donation. Could Luna's genetics offer Liam a chance at a miracle? That is yet to be determined, but the possibility is currently floating in the air like a suspenseful beat and begs for investigation. Back in the emotional heart of the show, Hope's journey of grief is only beginning. Her tears have barely dried before the questions start piling up. Why was she left out? Why did Liam confide in Steffy but not her? Did he not trust her to handle the truth? Or worse, does he still love Steffy in a way he never loved her? These questions are not rooted in jealousy but in grief-fueled insecurity, the kind that creeps into the cracks of your soul when someone you love is dying, and you're the last to know. This painful omission stings more deeply than any prior betrayal. And yet, despite the ache, Hope finds herself softening towards Steffy, perhaps seeing her for the first time not as a rival but as a fellow warrior navigating the same storm. Unity among the mothers of his children and peace in the face of unavoidable loss are exactly what Liam would have desired. And that's what makes this moment so beautifully bittersweet. In dying, Liam may have given his daughters a chance at a more harmonious future, if Hope and Steffy can maintain this newfound solidarity. Meanwhile, Bill Spencer remains blissfully unaware that his son is dying. But that's about to change. Tomorrow's episode teases an emotional reckoning that could shake Bill to his core. The father-son relationship between Liam and Bill has always been tumultuous, riddled with egos and power plays. But as Liam sits quietly waiting for his father, the weight of everything unsaid looms large. Their last interaction was a fight, harsh words, wounded pride, and a storming off that neither thought would be the last. Now Liam's reaching out not to ask for forgiveness, but to offer it. Bill may walk into that meeting ready to lecture or assert authority, but he will walk out a changed man. Learning of Liam's condition will likely shatter the facade of dominance Bill has always worn like armor. And in that shattering, the audience may finally see the true heart of Dollar Bill, the father who loves deeply, even if he doesn't always show it the right way. Carter Walton's storyline, while disconnected from the main arc, hovers at the edge of the episode as fans continue to weigh in on his chemistry or lack thereof with Hope. It's clear the pairing isn't resonating, with viewers noting a dissonance that simply won't resolve on screen. In a world where passion and connection drive everything, forced pairings are always exposed by the glaring spotlight of viewer scrutiny. And while some suggest Carter and Hope lack the spark, others are pushing for Hope to find new love after Liam's death, perhaps even hinting at a potential connection with Finn, a move that would be controversial but undeniably juicy in a post-Liam world. Whether this is foreshadowing or fan speculation, it highlights how this storyline has reignited viewer investment and imagination in a way that few plots have recently. One thing is certain as we come to the end of this section of The Bold and the Beautiful, everything is changing. Liam's diagnosis isn't just a personal tragedy. It is a new narrative. It's tearing down old barriers, forcing enemies to find common ground, and compelling characters to confront the darkest parts of themselves. Luna's ambush of Finn signals the rise of a new generation, one that won't sit silently in the shadows. Hope and Steffy's embrace marks a possible end to a bitter rivalry, even if temporary, and Liam's journey toward acceptance is shaping into a hero's farewell, quiet, selfless, and full of love. The emotional magnitude of this episode reverberates beyond just a single day's events. It sets the stage for a reckoning not just of mortality, but of relationships, identity, and legacy. In short, this is the kind of storytelling The Bold and the Beautiful was made for. Emotional, layered, and unforgettable. With the next episode promising even more powerful confrontations, viewers are bracing for impact. But for now, we sit with the image of two women, once enemies, holding each other in the quiet realization that the man they both love is slipping away, and that maybe, just maybe, love is bigger than rivalry, grief can be shared, and forgiveness, no matter how late, is still possible.